In late 2010, I traveled to New Mexico to visit with a videographer who recorded UFOs from his backyard using night vision cameras. During our skywatch, we encountered a pack of javelinas on open ground outside of Artesia. Technology came to our aid, and a beam of light stunned the feral pigs.
See, by the time it gets there, it's like 100 feet across or something.
Yeah, it's a little more diffuse.
During the encounter in the desert, I remembered how years earlier I had photographed a boar in spirit form while practicing meditation near the ocean.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, what the hell was that? That's big, bright, and orange. There it is still. Oh shit. Oh my god.
What do you really think is going on with the UFOs and the ETs? What are they really doing here? Why do we see them?
I think the UFOs and ETs have always been here. I think they've always been part of their interacting with humans. Mm-hmm. What they're doing, I don't know. Like to get the smoking gun. Whether that would be beneficial for me or not is debatable. Anybody that does get a smoking gun doesn't usually come out too good.
What would qualify in your mind as a smoking gun?
Had one land in my backyard if they could. There's not much room in there though. But if I go out in the desert, it would be.
So you'd like to document a landing?
Landing, even go on board if it's possible.
The idea of personal contact, in other words, is interesting to you.
Personal contact. I believe I had a little interaction in the past, but that's with these things flying over. When I first got to Yukon Ranger, I had this little portable DVR set up on it. I guess I can show you that.
Yep.
It's right here.
Yep.
And turn Turn it on. And basically, okay, when I go to record, I press this little button, and it just blinks on and off, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching this, what I assume is a satellite, just like most any other orbs that I see across. This was pretty big, and it seemed like it was lower than the rest, but I'm tracking it just like this, and then at a certain point, it just strobes big time. I have it on video. Yeah, I'm following what I assumed was a satellite.
Yeah.
And then at one point it just starts strobing rapidly, which I've never seen one do that. And it was using this one with the light that blinks on and off while I'm recording.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what did it or not. I felt like I had some interaction, and this happened at least 3 times with him. And it was either after me flashing a light at him, or the light flashing on here. Mm-hmm. The part about the negative ones, or they talk about the demons and all that stuff, I kind of personally steer away. I'd rather just stay with more positive, hopefully if there's some out there, they're going to want to help us or further us along in our development.
So in other words, you're an optimist when it comes to contact. You think generally it's going to be beneficial for people to have contact?
Which I hope is the ones that I would want, contacts, yes, would be beneficial, and would also want us to actually to know the truth.
The truth being?
Yeah, and not have the truth kept from us all the time. I feel like we always have the truth kept from us. There's whoever's in control of us all doesn't feel like we should know what's going on.
You're talking about a culture of secrecy.
Probably, I would say.
Or the compartmentalization of knowledge.
Yeah, the U.S. government it's all compartmentalized, from what I understand.
So in a way, I mean, a person like yourself, a civilian and researcher, someone with spends a little bit of money on some equipment and puts the time in, you're sort of bypassing the control mechanisms that try to govern what we know and what we don't know.
I feel like, yes, in a way I am bypassing it, because once you can see beyond our atmosphere, our government doesn't have as much control. Not at this time. They may later in the future, but right now I don't think they do. If we could get, the average citizen can't get out there. They could, with some of this hardware, night vision and so forth, on clear night, you can see into space.
In your career, in your professional work, you've had occasion to work with police departments and officers in different capacities.
15 years.
Have you had any feedback or communications with them? What was either supporting your interest or that they were?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of careful if I feel like they're receptive on it, especially if I make any hints or anything, and they say, "Yeah, I saw something," whatever, and then I talk. And there's a few guys. There's this one sergeant that was he told me about his experiences, and if, I don't remember a few others. I was a detention officer, and I got some stories from some of the prisoners, and one of them was pretty amazing. But we saw something on the ground. I worked with the police officers, all the city, the county, state police. We even had, when they had that little fundraiser, Secret Service, where I had to book a person that went trying to run up towards towards where they were having this fundraiser.
I see. But people, in other words, people from all walks of life are having these kinds of experiences.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Back in 1995, when I really started, asking people here and there. Oh yeah, my son's friends and my son and stuff, we used to sit in our backyard and watch very unusual with orange orbs that would come, and as soon as you start watching them, they usually go out, and sometimes it's like, oh, they flipped the switch wrong, and then they turn on real quick, and then they turn off again. It's that sort of thing happened a lot there for a while, and but when I really started to see that, to really want to look for them, was when I accidentally saw what I would call a fleet of UFOs, and it was high up in the sky. As at night, I was, I believe it was around 10:30. I guess or 10. I'm not sure. I think I was going to work. I think I was working graveyards, Safeway at the time. But I just happened to look up, and it was going across the I'd say at least 6 in front, something like that, 6 in the back, in a line, in a V formation, and they're going across the sky very fast, very luminous, and one of my goals was to see what ducks and geese look like, and I've seen them many times. I've recorded them many times. I know the difference. These were different. These were, they were bright objects, bright, round, or maybe a little bit oblong, but they went across the sky. What amazed me as I was watching them, it appeared like 2 of them fell out from the back, one corner, and they immediately zipped back in. It wasn't, I mean, I've seen birds where they fly back in. These back into the formation. That was also, and that's what really got me going. After that, I had to get it documented one way or another. It's called UFO SNMW, UFO Sightings New Mexico and the World. It's an old site, and I haven't been updating it. But this site, at the time when I put it up, I also had a form where they didn't have to send me an email, but it would send it to my email. It's a form they could fill in their UFO site. These people could fill in the UFO sightings. But I also put up a personal page, and this details all my old sightings. And let's see, that was the newest. My first was one, and it looked similar. I kind of made a
graphic.
Graphic of it, and I gave a description, and this is all in there. But and those are on my personal page. But I tried to love it. There's some things in there. To me, this one about the retired FBI agent in 1930. These were all done unanimously. People did not. Some of them put it. They wanted to have their email. They wanted to be contacted again. But
they're anonymous.
Yeah, most of them were anonymous, whatever. And there's some fantastic stories in this, and I had like 1,400 that were sent in before. I just got burned out on it, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I kind of closed it up, but I keep it, and I keep reference to it when people want to know what I used to do back in '95 to. The last time I updated, I updated a little bit in 2009, but basically 96 to 2003.
So what I'm hearing you say is that once you initiate, you put a place for people to come or send their stories. There is a tremendous public interest. There's so much, in fact, that there's overwhelming amount of material that will come in.
Yeah, on that site I had stuff that I know that they would not normally say, not tell anybody, and they told me. They put it down there. They wanted to have somebody. This guy in 1939, and he said he was getting old, and he didn't want to not have anybody know about it before he died, so he put it up there.
Yeah. I read that story. It's a very fascinating story.
Oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's not quite UFO. It's a little bit different.